Identity confirmed. Mateo Torres, you are under arrest. Please, put these on.
Why? I didn't do nothing. I'm just going to work.
Failure to comply will result in the use of non-lethal force. Final warning.
Please place your personal items into the box.
This is a mistake. Can I speak to a human? Human?
Please proceed to cell block C14. Welcome to Correcticorp. We at Correcticorp Detention Facility want to make your stay the best it can be.
No, thank you. I want to speak to a lawyer.
Hi, I'm Ben Saperstein. And I am Halo. Do not worry, we are here to help.
Oh. A public defender.
Please wait.
There is an 89.5% chance you will be found guilty.
Guilty of what?
This ruling will likely carry a sentence of 45 to 47 years in prison. I recommend that you plead guilty.
Mateo Torres probably sent out a spicy meme in 2027. And let's be honest here, if he was Republican, the chances of him going to jail would be 100%. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolute crazy and wild news to get into today, as, of course, the situation is not all right domestically, as now we have a new form of bread and circuses that everyone is talking about, whether it will be woke, whether it will be real, whether it will be actually accurate, as we are going to be discussing the latest GTA trailer here on this independent media broadcast, as well as all the latest news that has been happening today. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is made by I have no idea who. The clip goes on for another 2 minutes. It was originally posted by @WallStreetSilver. They post a lot of great things, but who originally created this skit, I have no idea. So please let me know in the comment section down below so we could attribute them correctly and link their social medias and YouTube channels in the description. As this clip literally highlights the technocratic dystopian artificial intelligence hellscape that, let's just be honest here, we are on the trajectory of, especially with what has been happening here inside of the United States, as political thought and expression has been heavily prosecuted by district attorneys financed by a billionaire that bought them off and is punishing people for expressing the wrong ideas. This has individuals like Douglas Mackey, Owen Schroyer, and some of the January 6th defendants who walked outside of a building or were escorted by police officers into it are, in my opinion, modern political prisoners. This as today we also found out that Douglas Mackey actually did win his first round of appeals, as a court has now allowed him to stay out of prison pending a full appeal of his case, as of course he's going to jail for sending out a spicy meme regarding the election that the Fed boys couldn't prove actually affected the election in any way, shape, or form. It was a joke. It was a meme. He was sentenced to jail for it. He's fighting for his freedom now. And that's one case out of many cases that just keep happening, as of course even a close friend of Gina Carano was recently imprisoned for alleged involvement in the January 6th incident, as she just released this video footage of Joe Rogan talking about the current political climate in our society.
Everyone's going to jail.
Yeah.
People that shouldn't go to jail are going to jail. If the cops let you in the door and they give you a tour, you're going to jail. Like, we're going to call it a violent insurrection, and everyone's going to jail. And we're going to let you in. We're going to open up the barricades, and we're going to have federal agents in the audience encouraging you to go into the house. And then when we're under oath, we're going to say we can't answer whether or not federal agents were inciting people to go into the Capitol.
Like, how ethically inappropriate do you think everything about that is?
It's
like,
so
dude,
bad.
it is so bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
If this was happening from the right, if this was Trump doing this, people would be losing their...
And those sentiments are definitely felt very true for a lot of Americans that do have to deal with a lot of senseless crime, illegalities that, of course, go unpunished, while political thoughts and expression are heavily prosecuted. As, of course, on the U.S. border, thousands of migrants are showing up and, in many instances, are just allowed into the United States with, of course, court hearings many, many years from now, as, of course, the Democratic politicians see these individuals as future voters and supporters of their political party, and therefore are making it very easy for them to come into the United States, which some politicians are seeing as an opportunity to potentially even enlist them in the U.S. military in order to make them citizens. This, as now every conspiracy is almost proven, as Democratic politicians and their offspring get to do whatever they want, they live by a different set of rules, as even now. Democratic U.S. Senator Bob Mendez from New Jersey was found to have gold bars inside of his home that have been linked to a 2013 armed robbery. How did those gold bars find their way into the house of a U.S. Democratic senator that were linked through a theft and robbery? Well, in Washington, D.C., almost everything is theft and robbery and stinks to high heaven, just like your potential seat next to the U.S. climate czar John Kerry, who, according to the New York Post, is letting off lard fart sounds during his speech at a climate panel. Those carbon emissions definitely deserve to be capped. You, by the way, don't. As we want you living your strongest, best life, and that's why we created WeAreChangeDotShop. As, of course, if you have proper nutrition, if you have proper exercise, if you have good sleep, if you have little stress, you probably won't be filled with a lot of flatulence, which is a sign of irregular gut. And again, we got some really awesome products available to you here on our own official store. The link to it is down in the description below. One of my favorites is TakeCalm.com, and that, of course, is this substance that, as you can see, I use a lot. I bring with me all the time. Sometimes it's missing from the table because it's usually in my pocket. I really like this. It helps me out a lot. It helps out a lot of people who have to deal with anxiety, who have a hard time sleeping. Inflammatory responses are also something that a lot of people were helped with when it comes to this 1,000 milligram full spectrum CBD that we have available to you on TakeCalm.com. Again, do your own homework, do your own research. We have a video here that allows you to play and learn more about the medical benefits, the risks, the hazards, the things you should do, the things you should know about, the things you should not do with this particular topic, all available to you here on our website. Again, you got to do your own homework. You got to do your own research. This is stuff that I personally use, that I personally take, that I personally like. Will it be something that personally benefits you? Who knows? You're different. You have a different biology. You have a different body. You have a different mind. Personally, I've tested a huge portion of these particular products for many years now, and this is the best product out there, according to my own personal opinion, when it comes to effectiveness, when it comes to working, when it comes to helping me. This product is grown. This product is created here inside of the United States, and by buying this product, you not only support this independent media organization, but you support an American, fully supported, grown business, as of course this also is a great gift for the holiday seasons, especially if you have someone that is dealing with anxiety, sleep disorders. This is something that might help someone out dramatically. It has helped me. It might help you. Who knows? Do your own homework, do your own research, and check out TakeCalm.com. The link is down in the description below. This, as it's fair to say, the younger generations of this country is not all right, not just with their own kind of physical bodies and mental states, but also their outlooks on the future of this country. As today we got a report by the Daily Mail that younger Americans are fearing that there's going to be a lot of civil strife and conflict coming to this country with the upcoming presidential elections, as we are finding out that 40% of Gen Zers have spent a lot of their money on doomsday preparation and survival gear, as an estimated 74 million Americans are also doing the same. And if the last elections were indicators of the social unrest of what potentially might happen now, I think it's a good indicator that there is some troubles ahead. But don't worry, a lot of us will be pacified, will be glued to our screens, and hopefully not too affected by the elections in 2024 to be prepared for the GTA 6 video game, which is coming out in 2025, as already some fans are going as far as to create girlfriend contracts, which will allow them to play video games for an entire week, as we have the most anticipated video game of, I think, all time coming out in that particular year. And that, of course, is a game that is a major cultural phenomenon, and whether we like it or not, will have a huge impact on our society, leaving many Americans asking the question, will this game be woke? Will this game be used as an instrument of propaganda and psyop, or will it stay true to its nature and prioritize an actual good game rather than a game filled with establishment conformist messaging that is purely there for propaganda purposes? Essentially, a lot of this has been encapsulated by asking the question, will GTA 6 be woke, or will it actually be a good game? A question that, of course, is worth asking, as many corporations are following the ESG, inclusive, diversity, equity, and just causes doctrine that essentially have been implemented by the Pope and the Rothschilds through their revisionism of capitalism that has been affecting major corporations all throughout the Western world that clearly have been prioritizing woke causes and not actually anything just in its nature. And whether it's Netflix, and whether it's Disney, and whether it's almost every single TV commercial, TV show, or movie, there's elements of this that are kind of overbearing, reductive, redundant, as it's fair to say that storytelling has definitely taken a back seat in exchange for woke political indoctrination. Now, will Rockstar Studio follow in the same footsteps as almost every multinational corporation out there? Well, a lot of people are using this photo in order to highlight this. A photo that, by the way, has been taken on Women's Day, highlighting some of the women that work there, and in my opinion, isn't really that kind of strong of an indicator to what's going to be happening next. As of course, it's also worth noting that there are some bodacious Latinas depicted in this particular trailer that a lot of feminists would absolutely object to. Now, the main protagonist in this trailer that we are finding out is, of course, a female. Is that a big deal for some? Well, it also depends on how the storyline will go. As, of course, there's a lot of great pieces of entertainment where the women are the protagonist and the story is actually good and maintained in a way that actually is in a consistent storyline that makes sense and is actually good in many instances. Now, there's also a lot of latest depiction of strong woman leads that we are seeing a theme with that, let's just be honest here, absolutely sucks. We saw that from the Ghostbusters movie. We saw that from the Marvels movie. How will GTA handle this particular case? Well, we're going to see, as of course previous GTA games also had main female protagonists, and those video games were actually good, according to my own opinion. Now, there are a lot of other racial components here that I want to talk about here in just a little bit, but this game is taking 10 years to develop, billions of dollars to make, as even Jeff Bezos, in my opinion, is depicted in this trailer, showing that he's having the time of his life on his private yacht. As I even asked this question to my particular audience, asking them if they think GTA 6 will be woke, with an overwhelming 73.8% saying yes, as other critics of the game, individuals like Mr. Hinkle here, came out and went as far as to call it GTA 6 haram Zionist propaganda. Now, is that the case here? Again, I haven't seen any indication of it. As of course, Jackson has been hypercritical of what he calls the adult nature of this video game that is, of course, going to be predominantly consumed by a lot of children, also a lot of adults, as it's fair to say here that every iteration of GTA has always been rated mature, 17 plus ratings. And when we look at the history of this video game, seeing people twerking, bikinis, crime, violence, stolen cars is nothing new. This is the theme of this video game. There have always been pundits, politicians, and even major conservative figures trying to ban and censor this video game. As of course, this video game became as popular as it did because of those specific themes, while allowing the participant to do and commit outlandish things that, of course, they would never commit to themselves in real life. Now, when it comes to the racial components here, we're seeing two different kind of arguments being made here. One from the black community complaining that this video game is going to be setting them back 100 years. And then there's also commentary from the conservative right-wing community that in some instances is complaining about the demographics being represented here overwhelmingly over others. And wherever you stand on this particular case, it is important to note here that a lot of the scenes from the trailer are actual scenes from real videos that happened here in the great, beautiful state of Florida. And let's be honest here, the trailer is a pretty honest depiction of everyday life here in Florida, which in my opinion is absolutely spectacular and amazing and never boring. I love living here. I live in Miami myself. And again, literally all the videos or almost the perfect representation of what people go through here every day. And to me, that is just absolutely brilliant. It's fun to see, and personally gives me hope for this video game that it is a reflection of our modern day society while making fun of it and not trying to indoctrinate us into this false sense of an ESG social credit score, Pope Rothschild influenced revisionist version of capitalism that clearly has hijacked all forms of entertainment for their pure propaganda and psyop purposes. Will GTA break from this conditioning and matrix? Well, I personally hope so. Will it actually do that? That's another question that I kind of want to leave up to you. For me, you already know my answer, but press number 1 in the comment section if you think it's going to go woke. Press number 2 if you think it's not going to go woke. As personally, I'll be honest, I'm excited for this video game to come out. And I understand the argument for the opioid of the masses. I understand the huge potential that this video game has when it comes to influencing our culture. As of course, there's a grand, big responsibility for such a cultural icon in our society that we hope doesn't fail us. As of right now, I'm a little bit optimistic, as maybe, just maybe, entertainment could still just be entertainment and not propaganda. I hope that's the case. I might be wrong, but we're going to see. In 2025, as of course the game's probably going to be delayed even further, like most Rockstar games are. And if society doesn't and civilization doesn't crash and fail, then yes, we will be live streaming this video game, as I'm thinking about opening up a little video game channel. Stay tuned for that. We got a live show coming up later on today, 7 p.m. Eastern. Stay tuned for that, plus a lot more, all here on WeAreChange.org. I love you guys. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Stay tuned for more.